Welcome. This pitch is with Peter Reitano from Gwella. Gwella is a consumer company focused on psychedelics and wellness. Peter, take it away.
Thank you very much. So it's a pleasure to be here today. My name's Peter Reitano. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Gwella, a consumer company focused on mushrooms and psychedelic wellness. So mushrooms can solve some of the world's biggest problems. They clean up oil spills, they can produce biofuel, they can be used to create biodegradable packaging and replace plastic, and they have all sorts of health benefits for humans. And that's what we're interested in. At Gwella, we're designing mushrooms for modern life. Our mission is to build the most accessible and original over-the-counter portfolio of wellness and psychedelic products that amplify health. We're taking an open access approach which will focus on accessibility and scale. Our strategy is to build the leading platform and portfolio tailored towards consumers who opt into natural health alternatives to support their day-to-day life. Our aim is to radically improve lives by introducing more people to these compounds. So why now? Today, psychedelics have re-emerged in mainstream culture with novel scientific research in major media outlets making a strong case for ending prohibition. Decriminalization and legalization efforts are increasing worldwide. And there's a growing population of consumers who want to explore natural remedies that enhance their lives and improve their health. And mushrooms are breaking out as a top product category in this space, along with the huge buzz around psychedelics. And while most companies are focusing on a hyper-medicalized application, we believe that the biggest addressable market will be driven by self-improvement in a non-clinical setting. So we're taking a house of brands approach. Our product portfolio is tailored for consumers exploring the world of adaptogenic, medicinal, and psychedelic mushrooms. Innovation and accessibility are at our core. Everything we create is purposeful to modern consumers, built for convenience, engineered for function, and designed for beauty. Our proprietary elements and IP creates a defensible moat across product and brand. Now, for years, we've been conducting R&D on what problems mushrooms can actually move the needle on, stacking them with synergistic botanicals and creating novel products that solve real-life problems. So we have a robust pipeline of products being developed. Our innovation lab is always researching new formulations to create natural supports for physical and mental health that seamlessly flow into day-to-day life. Now, our Mojo gummies are a first-of-its-kind product that mimics the reported pharmacological effects of microdosing psilocybin in a legal platform. So limited clinical capacity and research has placed extensive barriers to psychedelic access, meaning that the growing demand for these compounds is being met with medical restrictions and a multi-year legalization timeline gap for general public access. And Mojo is Gwella's response to this growing demand. The result of 12 months of R&D, we developed a proprietary blend of 14 different mushrooms, botanicals, and nootropics that boost energy, mood, and cognitive performance for improved productivity. Now, to replicate a microdose experience, we dedicated our time to an extensive and rigorous research process that targets and aligns legal natural compounds to replicate these claimed benefits. This product has a dual function for us: build audience, capture market share, gather data, and drive revenue pre-legalization. Then as regulations change, we can add to the formulation and sell psychedelic-infused microdose stacks under a brand with existing loyalty and trust to an audience that's been primed and educated. We have a staggered approach to our product roadmap to make sure we're focused on deploying products effectively with the right research, the right branding, the right partners, and then scaling them effectively with our best-in-class marketing team. Mojo is launching to the public in May in the US, and we'll have a second product live by year end. The Gwella platform is an ecosystem that houses CPG products, IP, media properties, and audience data. All elements support each other, and we're taking a very much digital first approach. We have an immediate path to revenue and scale in the functional non-psychedelic market, which is a fast-growing and fragmented sector. We'll start with D2C for all our products, moving into affiliate and local partners, and then national retail distribution, all supported by our media platforms. We're building strategic footprints in areas where we see future growth potential in the psychedelic sector, and we'll focus on jurisdictions where we can launch over-the-counter products in a regulatory compliant manner. Underlying all of this is our media platform. Media is a key part of driving commerce. Every company has to also be a media company in 2021. Think of how Glossier or Goop or Barstool all operate. Our platform covers the intersection of psychedelics and wellness and provides resources and tools for responsible usage. That builds community, that attracts eyeballs, that helps with distribution and audience data monetization. Now, there's a big gap in the industry with no clear market leaders. Psychedelics will revolutionize the treatment of many conditions. And while we admire the important work that the majority of companies in this space are focusing on through clinical psychedelic applications, we believe medical usage only scratches the surface of the potential of these compounds. We're focused on wellness and open access. That's where we see the white space. We're focused on the +6. We're building tools to bring people up from 0 to 6, not -6 to 0. We're not a medical company. We're not fixing or curing serious health conditions. We're interested in transformation. Our audience is the millions of people who use psychedelics either to get more creative, to improve cognition, and have profound life-changing experiences through altering their consciousness. Somewhere between sitting in a doctor's office and rolling the dice on an unstructured trip is where Gwella's focus. Between medical and recreational, we want to improve access and enable responsible usage in a non-clinical setting. As regulations change across international jurisdictions, we'll be ready with products, tools, and educational platforms that enable safe and effective use of psychedelics for everyday life. Now, to do this, we've assembled an all-star team of scientists, product designers, CPG brand builders, and D2C veterans with a proven track record of bringing successful category-leading global brands to market. Our magic is our people, our track record, vision, and our products. With dedicated research, forward-thinking product development, and award-winning designers, we're working hard to become a wellness household name. And this is our core team with a deep and diverse range of experience from food science, marketing, to corporate strategy and law. I've personally been working with and building brands for 15 years, largely in the consumer wellness space, both my own and for other companies. I've founded and sold multiple ventures, most recently a cannabis CPG brand house called High Noon. And this is our advisory board, again, well-versed in capital markets, therapeutics, distribution, supply chain, research, and government relations. So in summary, some key takeaways. We have a really strong management team with 50+ years of CPG experience, help launch and drive over 100 million in sales for some of the top brands worldwide, including Body Shop, Dermalogica, and Starbucks. We're backed by some of the top brands in this space, including Vine Ventures and JLS. We have an award-winning creative marketing team with deep D2C experience. We built the world's first psilocybin-free microdose product with provisional patent pending being filed, a robust R&D pipeline with 5 products in development. We have an immediate path to revenue with over 4 million forecasted for 2022. And we have a round of financing coming up in summer 2021, and we're exploring a go public listing. So it's an exciting time. We have the right team and a unique outlook and product line that we're truly proud of. Lots more updates to come for this year. We'll be focusing on driving revenue, building for the future, creating value for our consumers and our investors, and on becoming a major player in this space. So you can check out our website at gwellamushrooms.com, and you can reach me personally at peter@gwellamushrooms.com. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Peter. So wanted to start off by hearing about the strategy with the content and your own sort of media platform. So could you talk a bit about is that platform off the ground now? Do you have the media kind of currently running? And yeah, anything you can share there?
Yeah, so we've got it off the ground. It's it's early days, so we're about a couple of months into kind of media deployment. The grand vision is something like Vice style video content coupled with really good long form explorations of psychedelics and how they apply to wellness. So we're bringing in various different freelancers. We have an in-house content team, but we're working with all sorts of people around the world in different capacities, be it clinical, medical, research, or simply people that have been using these substances, psychonauts or shamans. Really going the breadth of what these compounds have been used for historically, what they're being used for now, and where we see them going in the future. And we want to provide all sorts of tools and resources to help people use these substances in a more intentional and responsible way outside of a medical framework.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of the product itself, or at least the first product, so I like this idea of positioning it as like the microdose experience, but it doesn't have the psilocybin or any psychedelic compounds initially. At some point, or will you be looking to integrate or adding in the psychedelic compounds into the product? And if so, what regulatory changes need to happen in order for you to do that?
Yeah, so our science team developed it. That was the initial idea. Develop this, look at what the purported benefits of microdosing is on the short and long term. So short term, mood, creativity, energy, focus. Long term, better cognition and neurogenesis. And so what natural products can we use and nootropic products can we use that replicate that experience both short and long term? And so we've stacked them together. But of course, the idea is, we get this out to the market, we educate, the broad audience of people in line with our mission of accessibility. And then at some point, we can start layering in psilocybin into these stacks. Now we'll be able to do it in short order in jurisdictions right now. So, obviously there are jurisdictions where we can sell these types of products, Jamaica, Brazil, in various different capacities. But as the US starts to come online state by state, we'll be looking to get in market in there, and then hopefully cannabis as well. But we wanted to create something in the now that can prime people and educate people on what microdosing is all about and what the potential benefits can be, so that as we move forward with regulatory changes, we'll be ready to put a product out with that full experience.
Do you have a sense of timing in terms of at what point you think you'll be at a place where you'll be able to commercially sell the product with the psilocybin?
I think there's obviously promising signs in states like Oregon or Washington D.C. But I wouldn't want to put a frame around it, but I'm not hopeful within the next 1 to 2 years we'll see any kind of federal kind of legalization in the US. So it's certainly a longer term play where we can build up data and put these products out where we can, and then put it into the US. I mean, given the US still hasn't federally legalized cannabis, after all of this time, I'm not hopeful that we'll immediately see psychedelics come through as well. But I think it'll follow a reasonably similar trajectory, albeit I would say I see differences as well on the types of products. So, I'm not hopeful that you'll be able to walk into a Shoppers Drug Mart and buy a hero's dose of psilocybin anytime soon. But I think, nutraceutical products with, sub-perception levels of psilocybin in them will be a kind of a first type of product that will be allowed to put through.
In terms of the sales channel for the product, can you talk through which channels you think would be most, just best for this kind of product, like retail, online, whatever kind of comes to mind?
Yeah, I mean, I think, whenever we launch these types of products, the nice thing about gummies is, they're an incredible product to sell online. They have, pretty good margins. Logistically, they're very easy. Our co-packer and supply chain is all based in the US, where we'll be selling them to start with. And so it's really built as a direct-to-consumer business, and all of the advantages that come with that. We'll own all of the audience data. Like I said, there's better margins. It's very scalable. We're really modeling it off businesses like Goli gummies, for example, the apple cider vinegar gummies, direct to consumer. They're not really selling it through Amazon or any of these other places. So we'll go direct to consumer. We'll build up brands. We'll build up traction. We'll gather audience data. Then we'll start building out affiliate and local partnerships. And then we'll go kind of national retail. Now, there's a dual strategy to how we're putting out Mojo. So, we'll be talking about the microdose side of the product, but on our consumer website, we'll start very slowly with that piece. Really we'll be focusing on energy, cognition, focus, and flow state. And then as the consumer market gets more educated, which we'll be helping with, we'll start to integrate some more of that language. And so early on, you'll see, Mojo in the consumer mind really just talked about in a kind of energy framework as a D2C product, looking at audiences like coders and, esports people and entrepreneurs and any of these groups where you can think of that, frankly, anybody that could, benefit, anyone can benefit from more energy and focus, but we'll start with small groups. We'll get the product out there and then we'll scale out. And really in my mind, the grand vision for a product like Mojo is to replace all of the incredibly unhealthy energy drinks and supplements that exist on the market right now. So, I see this as a niche product where we build traction. Then at the scale end, there's no reason why this can't be, the 5-hour energy drink replacement in every gas station in North America. It works just as well. It doesn't have any downside like jitters or over caffeination or crashes. And it's much healthier, and it's plant-based. So you're not going to get any of the corrosive side effects that you get from energy drinks. I've been reading some stuff that's come out of Korea recently with the gaming culture, and they all drink Bang Energy and all of that type of stuff, and it's incredibly detrimental to their liver, their skin. And so if we can replace that with a healthier plant-based alternative that gets the same upside but none of the downside, I think we've got a market winner.
What does it taste like?
It's funny. We've gone through numerous iterations. The interesting thing about a product like this is the bioactives make it by necessity a little bit bitter. And so a lot of the R&D has been focused on, yes, getting the effects, but B, making it taste a lot nicer. And so, I can't remember what iteration we're on now, but we've got it to the point where there's zero bitterness. We've got all these interesting different maskers, like certain types of oil, like tangerine oil is very good at masking a certain bitterness in the mushrooms, in the ginseng that's in there. And so now it tastes like a kind of light tangerine kind of flavor. So it's kind of a nice, not too sweet. We didn't want it to be a candy because at the same time, we don't want people to eat 10 of these things because you'll be very energetic. Let's put it that way. So we wanted it to taste good and have a nice flavor, no bitterness, but not be a Skittle that you want to pop every 10 seconds.
Wonderful. Okay, Peter, do you have any final thoughts?
Not for me. This is a pleasure. I'm super excited to be taking part in this awesome conference, and I'm excited to see the rest of the speakers, and I'm genuinely excited about the future of these compounds and how they can help humanity. So great to be here.
Wonderful. Thanks, Peter.
Pleasure.